with the triple eyes sporting a crown of rubies, studded with the crescent moon, a face all smiles, a splendid blush with mead, and the other twirling a red lotus. I meditate on the great empress. She is red in color, and her eyes are full of compassion, and holds the noose, the goad, the bow, and the flowery arrow in her hands. She is surrounded on all sides by powers such as Anima, and she is the self within me. This is the Dhyana Shloka from Lalita Sahasranama. Let us understand who is Devi Parashakti. Devi is the ultimate pure feminine consciousness. Parashakti is the cosmic mother. It is her cosmic womb from which billions and billions of universes come out and go in. Source where the Big Bang and black holes go on. Parashakti is the source, source Shakti, source energy, source power, from which all of us came, in which all of us are even in now, in which all of us are going to merge. And out of her extreme love and compassion, Parashakti herself is manifesting through the embodied form as the Nijavatara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, gracing us, answering all of our questions, attending to our prayers, giving boons, healing us, revealing our past, present, and future, delivering profound spiritual truths, and ultimately giving us the experience of Paramashivoham itself. And in the words of Parashakti herself, describing herself, raising in Omkara, expressing as the Vedas Nagamas, blossomed as Reemkara, filled as Parashodasi, living in the 40 triangles, the Kailasa Swami Tripura Chintamani, Parashodasi, sitting as part of Paramashiva and Parameshwari, who rules the world, Paramashakti, Manonmani. Ananda, I took Nijavatara here to give good boons to everyone, to bestow all goodness. Hiranya Garbhasvarupini, Brahmanda Yoni, Shami, Chandramauli, Rapala, Aparna, Uma, Parvati, Savitri, Navayavana, Samraj Lakshmi, Parameshwari, Parashodasi, Meenakshi of Nithyananda. I came here as Nijavatara. With great compassion, I am blessing. Listen, people, to do good to all of you, I took the form of Nithyananda and came down as Nijavatara. And Devi continues on, raising in Omkara, blossoming as Shiva, Shiva manifesting as the source of existence, powers of existence, expression of existence, from the oneness of Om, blossoming into two as Prakriti and Purusha, blossoming as three Shaktis, Ichcha, Kriya, Jnana, growing as the four Vedas, expanding as the five Panchabhutas, beyond the six chakras, filled as the Gotras of the seven Rishis, expanding as the eight directions, existing as the nine Grahas, blossoming as the 10 Indriyas, being as the 11 Rudras, creating all the world, bringing life to tell and make truth blossom, and to do good. Parashodasi, Meenakshi, in the form of Nithyananda, I came to bless every one of you. So how can we receive Devi Parashakti in the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's own words? Literally, you are seeing Paramashiva and Parashakti at that moment. She is there in your screen, so always receive her very traditionally. Keep 2 betel leaf, 1 banana, 1 betel nut, and 1 coin in front of the screen. Watch the Devi Darshan, and the coin is considered to be the traditional dakshina. In the Hindu tradition, it's the lowest value. In India, it can be even 1 paise. It can be even 1 cent in the US. I'm not trying to monetize. Keep even 1 cent. It is okay. So for 100 days, if you have the darshan, it will add up to $1 in India. Even 1 paise is okay. Offer that to Devi, and after the darshan is over, do namaskar and eat the banana, the betel leaf, and betel nut. Take it as prasadam immediately. Collect those coins and send them to the LA temple. This betel leaf, betel nut may look too small, but in a few days you will see how much it adds to your sentiment that really she is there. You will not take the Devi darshan for granted. Rituals will break your monotonous, unconscious mentality and lifestyle and remind you and raise you to this powerful cognition It will break your unconscious behavior. So this is how you can set up your tambulam with 2 betel leaf, 1 banana, 1 betel nut, and 1 coin. You can put that on a plate and offer that to Devi every time you have darshan. And keep that in front of your screen, and you can be rest assured that your connection with Devi Parashakti, with Swamiji, will just grow with this very small sentiment. So now we will be concluding this portion of this program, and we'll be entering into the next segment. As all of us know, Devi has been continuously guiding us and revealing many sacred secrets and profound truths. And today we will be looking at some of those revelations by Devi Parashakti and understanding how we can apply them in our own lives to protect us and to guide us through this pandemic. So today, let us look at the 8 steps to protect yourself from COVID-19 as revealed by Devi Parashakti. So we'll be going into the next segment where we will understand what Devi has revealed about the 8 methods to protect yourself from COVID-19. So first, let us understand the compassion of the avatar. In the Guru Padaka Stotram, composed by Adi Shankaracharya, the very first verse describes how the Guru Padakas, the sacred feet of the Guru, is the boat that helps us cross the Ananta Samsara Samudra, the seemingly endless ocean of samsara or suffering. And in this verse, Adi Shankaracharya explains, salutations to the candles of my Guru, which is a boat which helps me cross the endless ocean of life, which endows me with a sense of devotion to my Guru, and by worship of which I attain the dominion of renunciation. And it is at this time the Cosmic Mother has come down to reveal and to relieve the suffering of humanity. Out of his deepest compassion, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, the incarnation of the cosmic consciousness, has taken, having taken the spiritual responsibility for the superconscious breakthrough of the whole of humanity, is manifesting Devi Parashakti, the cosmic mother, and guiding and healing the whole world as literally the boat that sails us through this pralaya, the cosmic deluge. Devi Parashakti is herself manifesting through the Nijavatara and answering boons, healing us, revealing our manifesting miracles, removing all of our pain and suffering. And Devi has not just attended to us individually, but also as a humanity at large. And Devi Parashakti has guided the whole of humanity in the form of revelations of profound sacred secrets of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and by showing us the future regarding global issues, the COVID pandemic, natural disasters such as fires, floods, and more, and even the twisted human conspiracies and underground wars, which have not surfaced to common knowledge as yet. So let us look at some of the revelations made by Devi Parashakti about COVID-19, from COVID-19. Let us first watch the video of baby's revelation.
Parashodasi Meenakshi, Parameshwari Meenakshi, Paraminakshi, இங்கு எழுந்து அருளினோம் எல்லோர்க்கும் ஞானமும் தன்மையும் தந்திட நன்மையெல்லாம் அளித்திட நாமே வந்தோம் இங்கு கைலாசத்தின் சுவாமினியாய் பரமசிவன் கிரகத்திருந்து நம் அனுக்கிரகத்தினால் நித்யானந்தன் விக்கிரகமாய் மலர்ந்தோம். உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் நல்லதை செய்திட நன்மையை சொல்லிட தர்மார்த்த காம மோக்ஷம் எனும் புருஷார்த்தங்கள் நாளும் பொங்கி மலர்ந்திட வந்தேன் இங்கு. மாந்தர்கள் கொடுந்தொற்று கொரோனா கண்டு அஞ்ச வேண்டாம். 8 வழியின் மூலமாகவும் எண்ணத்தில் தியானித்து என்னை பிரார்த்தித்தல் 1, சமூக வலைதளங்கள் மூலமாய் என்னை சரணடைதல் 2, எங்கெல்லாம் என் மகமாய் வடிவத்தில் நான் குடிகொண்டிருக்கின்றேனோ அங்கெல்லாம் பூமிதித்து என்னை வழிபடுவது 3, நெஞ்சில் மஞ்சள் தடவி வேப்பம் சாரருந்தி தினந்தோறும் என்னை தியானிப்பது 4, நிர்விகல்ப நிலையிருந்து நித்யானந்தத்தை நிறைத்து உயிர்வது 5, சிவ 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 எனும் பிரபஞ்ச பெரும் நாதத்தை அஜபா ஜபமாய் நிகழ்த்தல் 6, நிறைவான பூரண மனத்தோடு வாழைப்பழத்தோலும் வெங்காயமும் குதிகாலில் வைத்து பத்திட்டு நித்திரையில் அடங்குவது 7, பூரணமாய் பரிபூரணமாய் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் நினைப்பும் மறப்பும் அருந்த உணர்வு ஸ்மரணையில் அகம் அகம் என ஸ்புரிக்கும் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் ஆனந்த ஸ்புரணத்தில் இருப்பது 8 எனும் 8 முறையிலும் என எண்ணியோர் அத்துணை பேருக்கும் இல்லை கொரோனா கொடுந் நானே நீயாய் நீயே நானாய் நல்வாழ்வு வாழ்வீர்கள். 8இல் 1 செய்தாலும் கொரோனா உங்களை எட்டவிடாது காப் பரஷோடசி மீனாட்சி
The translation of
Parameshwari Meenakshi.
So Devi revealed that, "O humans, don't be scared of the deadly infection corona. Through these 8 ways, 1, praying and meditating on me, 2, surrendering to me through social media, 3, wherever I'm residing, worshiping me by doing the fire walking, 4, applying turmeric in the chest, drinking neem juice and meditating on me every day, 5, being in the unclutched state, filling with eternal bliss, 6, doing the Ajaba Ajaba, the cosmic sound, Shiva, 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 And 7, with complete mind, applying banana peel and onion in the heels and going to sleep. 8, being in the state beyond any remembrance or forgetting, in the Arunachala Spurana that blossoms as aham, aham, in the state of Ananda Spurana. Everyone who thinks on me through these 8 ways, they will not have the effects of corona. They don't have fear and delusion of corona. You will live with prosperity, with wisdom and fortune, me with you as me as you. You will live good life, even if you do one of these 8 ways. I will protect you. Corona will not reach you. Don't have fear, O people. Be blissful. In the above revelations, Devi Parashakti has revealed the 8 methods to protect all of humanity from COVID-19. We are now going to look at some of the benefits and the science behind each of these methods that Devi has revealed. The first method that Devi revealed was praying and meditating on me, Devi Parashakti. So a study conducted by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has shown how meditation has a direct impact on our physical health as well as our mental health. And another study by the Cambridge University Press reiterates the necessity of meditation during times of crisis, such as COVID-19. And the avatar himself.
Nithyananda participates and encourages scientific researchers to derive evidences for meditation and healing through meditation. Dr. R. Murli Krishna, President COO, Integris Mental Health and James L. Hall Jr., Center for Mind, Body in Oklahoma in US, and his team invited Nithyananda to derive scientific evidences for meditation and the state of his enlightenment.
When Swamiji came, I have requested him to do one thing. I asked him, would you be willing to undergo some scientific investigation of the meditation process? He very cheerfully agreed without one complaint. He went for 3 repeat sessions for PET scanning and 3 repeat sessions for quantitative EEG sessions. And these are really not very easy tests to go through. It requires a lot of patience and a lot of willingness to do that. So we did that, because if a meditation process is doing something to your brain, we should be able to detect that. Scientific findings are verifiable. They are replicable. You can replicate them, duplicate them. So Swamiji went through those sessions and we found some interesting findings.
In PET scan, they inject a radioactive dye which goes and sits in parts of the brain that are active. In the normal, non-meditative state, the brain is very active. And when we are seeing someone, the rear end of the brain, the visual cortex, is very active, as shown in the diagram.
Usually the brain is so active, there are 100 billion brain cells there. But what meditation does is something very interesting. It shows the frontal lobes getting more active. The frontal lobe is where you have judgment, wisdom, reasoning. Here are some of the brain scans I'm going to share with you. This is alert, non-meditative state. The second one is 30 minutes into 30 minutes meditation. Look at the frontal lobes, how they light it up. They light it up big time. 60 minutes of deep meditation, and here is a deep, deep level of meditation where it lights up significantly right here. Right in the middle, probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches deeper. What's interesting was, Swami was inside, and that's the last part of that one. See that light right here? So what's interesting was, I've never seen that before in my life, so the other parts I've seen may not be to the extent that Swamiji showed, but this is something interesting. There is something called dopamine, which is a chemical our brain is involved in. Dopamine is produced mostly in this area. And when you have any pleasurable feeling in your body, it is mediated through dopamine. It's a neuroreceptor. It's a chemical that transmits messages of pleasure. Basically evokes pleasure chemical. If you eat, the same thing is with visual pleasures you have. Beautiful people, beautiful sceneries, nature, whatever gives you pleasure, it's mediated through dopamine. Everything that human being experiences involves dopamine. But what's interesting is that you and I have the potential to create our own dopamine in a big way. So I named it, for lack of a word in the past, the D spot, which is a dopamine spot. If you can discover your D spot, you got it made in life. The D really stands for divine spot. The D also stands for delight, and the dopamine spot. What's also interesting is that he could, at will, go in and out of those states. Those are some of the findings I want to share with you. There's so much more talk about physiology of mind and brain and the body. It's a fascinating field that this is something that all human beings can relate to, can apply in our own lives. Not only a sophisticated knowledge, but these things have application in daily life for all of us.
Nithyananda's system of free healing, known as Nithya Spiritual Healing, has been baffling the medical world, curing diseases from migraine to cancer. Qualified people are also initiated to become healers. The complete report of the research conducted on Nithyananda's neurological system can be found in the book Mystic Phenomena, Scientific Data.
Yes, now that we've understood about meditation, let us understand what Devi Parashakti has revealed about, let us understand what Swamiji has revealed about prayer and how it is the best stress buster. Let us watch the next video now.
If you are not allowed to do yoga, made to believe early morning sleep is the best thing in your life, you are tortured, you are abused, your divine rights are violated. If you are constantly inspired to do yoga early morning, Brahma Muhurta time, and everyday puja, sit that 30-40 minutes and melt down by feeling connection. Understand? Nothing can be compared to prayer to bust your stress. I tell you, it's the best stress buster. Deep feeling connection and tears rolling in your eyes and melting down. Prayer to Paramashiva. Intense yearning, Vyakulata, talking to Paramashiva, relating to Paramashiva. Nothing can be compared to that to bust your stress. I tell you, every day puja is an ultimate recharging experience. If you do everyday puja, the kind of the stress-free life you will live, your whole biological clock will be aligned to Kailasa. I tell you, I have seen the people who have the habit of Nitya Puja live long. Not just long, happy. In my whole life, it is Nitya Puja, Puja, that gave me all the best things of life. Every day puja. Relating with the deities is the best stress buster. Touch the deities, do decoration, dress up. Even now, my best time of the day is when I sit with my deities. When I sit with my deities, dress up the deities, jewel them, spend time with them, talk to them, intensely pray, deeply connect and pray. Understand? You do not know the power of Archavatara. God landing in physical deity form. Never underestimate the power of Archavatara. The Archavatara is equivalent to living avatara. What living avatar can do to you, an Archavatara can do. Atma Linga I am giving to all of you is literally living Archavatara. Is a piece of God. Literally.
The next method, which is surrendering to Devi Parashakti through social media. And during the Akashic readings, Devi Parashakti gives us the opportunity to connect with her through various social media platforms and attends to us individually through our prayers and showers us with blessings and boons. Let us now see how we can connect to Devi Parashakti through social media. So the first method is to connect with Devi on Facebook, on YouTube. So you can go ahead and join as a member of the Kailasas HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel. And once you've joined as a member, you can ask your questions during the live Parashakti Akashic readings. The next method is to connect with Devi via Facebook. So you can like and follow Kailasas HDH Nithyananda Paramashivam Facebook page. And you can also ask your questions under the live video during the Parashakti Akashic reading. And next, you can follow @Nithyananda on Twitter and ask your questions in the reply to the tweet with #AskTheAvatar. And the next way is to connect with Devi via Instagram. You can follow @Nithyananda on Instagram. And you can ask your questions in the comment section of the photo. And lastly, you can connect with Devi through WhatsApp. So you can visit kailasa.org and you can ask your questions in the WhatsApp chat box that pops up. And all of these methods are simple methods to connect with Devi and have your questions answered by Devi Parashakti directly. So now let us look at Devi Parashakti blessing people and understand how we too can receive these blessings.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை.
Yes. So let's see the next method to protect yourself from COVID-19. Devi revealed, wherever I'm residing, worshiping me by doing the fire walking. The Supreme Concept of Hinduism has revealed that fire walking is an alchemy process. In the words of the Supreme Concept of Hinduism himself, our rishis and munis have been adepts and masters in every field, whether health or keeping the society safe in every field. So all the vratams, the pujas, the spiritual techniques, the religious rituals, anything they designed is highly scientific and directly useful to the life. Coronavirus will not affect you at all because that fire walking time, the small blisters you get, just shoots up your whole immunity. That power, the power to protect yourself from any virus or any problem. It's actually a powerful technique. It's a very powerful technique followed in those days, especially during this season. And the Supreme Concept of Hinduism, especially that is done very traditionally, systematically. If you had even small blisters, or even if you did not have any blisters, you are protected already from corona problem. You will not be affected at all. Corona will not work on you. It will not affect you. Don't worry. It is a traditional way of making you immune. Actually, it's a traditional vaccination process. It's an 11 feet length, the burning live charcoal on which you are supposed to walk, with the traditional powerful music, which activates your lymph system, that mukulam, we call it, in the back of the neck. This music will feel like it is hitting the back of your neck, and your whole detox system will be awakened. In that peak altered state of consciousness, you should walk on fire. Not just like that, you will walk on fire. You will first awaken, trigger the detox system, and then walk on fire in the 11 feet fire pit. And if you do for one fire walking, you are absolutely protected from corona. Pray to Mahamariam and do the fire walking, and that's it. It is like a traditional, powerful vaccination. Pray to Parashakti Mahamari and do the Pachipatni Vratam and do this traditional fire walking. You are absolutely protected from coronavirus. No need to panic. Traditional vaccination, traditional, natural, organic. No bad side effect vaccination is the Hindu fire walking. So let us understand the science behind fire walking as revealed by the Supreme Concept of Hinduism.
All these transmutation processes means balancing the system and awakening the whole consciousness to your whole body is what I call transmutation processes. Some parts of your body becomes insensitive to the existence because of the job it is doing, like a feet. Because of the continuous walking, it becomes insensitive. Your cheeks, how they are sensitive, they don't become they lose sensitivity to the reality. But for a complete Kundalini awakening, your whole body needs to be alive and experiencing the reality, to experience the higher consciousness. That is the reason we have the process of fire walking.
Now that we've understood the science behind fire walking, let us now watch the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself doing the fire walking in the sacred city of Tiruvannamalai, the birthplace.
சத்தியம் காத்திடும் உத்தமத்தியே சத்குருவாய் வந்த நித்திய தாயே வேதங்கள் வணங்கிடும் ஆதியும் நீயே ஜோதிமலையிலே அவதரித்தாயே அவனியை பேணும் ஞானமும் நீயே அக்னி வடிவிலே அருள் புரிந்தாயே தீனிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி தீனிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி கர்மங்களை கொன்றிட வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய் கர்மங்களை கொன்றிட வந்தாய் நித்யானந்த தர்ம மண்ணில் வென்றிட வந்தாய் தீயினிலே பிறந்தவளே நித்ய ஆனந்தத்தியே நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி
So let us understand the science behind fire walking as per modern science. A study conducted by the U.S. National Study of Medicine's the National Institute of Health regarding the various effects and benefits of fire walking shows that fire walking actually increases the levels of happiness and lowers fatigue levels in people who participated in fire walking compared to those who did not participate in fire walking. The next method is revealed by Devi Parashakti to protect yourself from COVID-19 is applying turmeric on the chest, drinking neem juice, and meditating on Devi Parashakti every day. Let us understand the benefits of neem juice as revealed by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself.
Bididi. It is not, I'm not talking from air, I'm talking from ground. In Bididi, before we came to that land, 30 borewells were dug, no water. Now, from the day we came till now, we have water for 10,000 people to live comfortably in that very land. It's only pouring, pouring. Karumari's grace. Wherever we started ashram, nature completely cooperates because we know biology, whole biology thinks. If you are having bitter relationships in your life, just start drinking bitter neem juice every morning. The problem will be solved. Understand, if you are irritated, even if you don't react, even if you don't talk to people, you release that kind of vibes. Take Haritaki. You will see you release sweet kind of vibes. Take neem juice. You release healing, compassionate vibes. A woman who applies neem powder and takes bath, who applies turmeric powder and takes bath, is equivalent to Karumari Mahamayi. that neem paste and turmeric powder. If a woman takes bath with that, she is equivalent to Mahamai. She is embodiment of Karumari because she will be manifesting that same vibes of Karumari. I sincerely recommend people start doing all these activities like applying neem paste and taking bath, applying haritaki powder and taking bath, applying turmeric powder and taking bath, applying basma and taking bath, especially for men, basma, for women, neem paste and turmeric paste. All four can be used by both all genders. That is different. If you want specific, I'll recommend the neem and turmeric for female body, haritaki and basma for male body. Understand your whole biology things. Working on whole biology changes the whole life. So, now with this understanding the whole biology things, think Mahavagya. This is Ajapa Ajapa. Think Mahavagya. With the understanding your whole biology thinks. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Blessings to all of you. Start manifesting powers. Now,
Yes. And now that we've understood the benefits of neem, just let us look at turmeric. Turmeric, of course, is known traditionally for its anti-inflammatory effects in Hindu medicine, but turmeric has also been shown in the last few decades to be a potent immunomodulator agent that can modulate the activation of T cells, B cells, macrophages, neutrophils, natural killer cells, and dendritic cells, which are all various immune cells. And curcumin can also downregulate the expression of various pro-inflammatory cytokines and chemokines. And this research published in the US National Center for Biotechnology Information shows that turmeric can modulate the activation of various immune cells, as well as enhance the body's antibody response, which will ultimately strengthen your immunity. So with a strengthened immune system, you will be more likely to stay healthy and be able to maintain an active lifestyle. And neem can also help you in fighting against coronavirus, according to an India.com article. And turmeric and neem are effective against coronavirus, according to a KGMU study. The next method Devi Parashakti has revealed is with complete mind, applying banana peel and onion in the fields and going to sleep. can go back to the previous slide, please. We can go back to the previous slide. Being in the state of unclutching. Sorry, we can go back to the previous slide. We can look at
The brain is the organ which controls our whole physical being. Once our brain has been imbalanced, it will then transmit that imbalance throughout the whole body. Thought forms are pure energy that have the ability to influence people and everyday events in life. According to science, our brains generate an electromagnetic field which may be measured by such instruments as an encephalograph. This electromagnetic field is generated by the brain every time we think, and as our mind is never still, we may be compared to perpetual power generators. Fear produces nervous disorders. Anger produces headaches and violence. Confused thoughts produce congestion and ill health. Depression causes cancer, tumors, mental diseases, and lowering of the immune system, causing death through own willpower. Our thoughts generate intricate energy patterns which can be detected by sensitive equipment and seen by clairvoyant individuals. These energy patterns are known as thought forms. Surprisingly, thought forms are shaped by the thoughts themselves. Each of us creates hundreds of thought forms every hour and release them into the environment. Although we cannot see them, the thought forms have as real an existence as any other form of energy. Most people can sense others' thought forms, and a continuous energetic exchange happens between people, about which we are usually unaware. This also explains why we sometimes take a sudden liking or dislike to a certain person directly on meeting them. We just catch their vibes. Unclutching is a guide for equanimity and enlightenment. Thoughts are like bubbles in a fish tank. Just as bubbles in a fish tank rise from the bottom, our thoughts also rise in the same manner. When one bubble comes and reaches the surface of the water, the next bubble starts and the third bubble starts. Because the bubbles are rising at high speed, they look like a continuous stream. But our mind is not a continuous stream. There is always a gap between two thoughts. Like the bubbles, we also experience a neutral space between two thoughts. This neutral space between two thoughts is our original state, the pure silence. It is a state of pure consciousness, the state of God. Since the gap or the neutral space between two thoughts is too small, we think all thoughts are connected and form a shaft. But there is always a gap between two thoughts. In the forest of northern India, the hunters trap the birds using a trap. They tie a rope between two trees. The rope is the shaft that we create by connecting two thoughts. In the middle of the rope, they secure a wooden stick. The stick is our mind. The rope is tied at the midpoint of the stick. When a bird comes and sits on the stick, the bird's own weight turns the whole stick upside down. It turns topsy-turvy. The moment it turns upside down and loses its sense of balance, it feels totally shaken and tightens its grip on the stick. It simply holds onto the stick as if its life depends on it. Similarly, and form a shaft out of it and live in the fear that if we drop our mind, we might be lost. We might lose our identity. Because it is hanging upside down, It thinks, if I unclutch from this stick, I will fall and die. Is similar to the fear that if we start trusting that we are unconnected, unclutched, independent and illogical thoughts, we might be lost. If the bird lets go and relaxes, it may flutter to balance for a moment or two. When it leaves the stick, maybe for a few seconds it will fall, but then it will adjust itself and start flying. In the same way, we hold on to whatever we think is our identity and security, our education, our mind, our life, our relationships, or our bank balance. Ultimately comes to remove the stick, that is, our identity. Just like the bird, we don't realize that if we drop our mind, at that moment we can become a Paramahamsa. That very moment we can be liberated. In Mundaka Upanishad, there is a story which explains, there is a huge tall tree, and in the tallest branch of the tree, there is a golden bird sitting unclutched from everything in bliss, like Dakshinamurti. In the lower level branch, there is a small bird which jumps from here and there to various branches eating fruits. When it eats a bitter fruit, it feels bad. Whenever she eats the bitter fruit, she sees the bird which is looking above silently like Dakshinamurti and feels why I should not be like that bird. But unfortunately, when the same bird, when it eats tasty fruit, it forgets the bird sitting above it. In the same way, she keeps battling between branches, eating bitter and tasty fruits again and again. One day, as a small bird flies up higher, and as it reaches near the golden bird, it realized that he and she are the same. There is no difference between them both and realizes her original state. The small bird realizes that she also can be in the same state of the golden bird and become a Paramahamsa. This moment, trust yourself. Don't bother about losing your identity. Just trust yourself and let go of your identity. You will immediately become a Paramahamsa and be liberated. All you need to do is to trust that you're unclutched. Dropping the conclusions you can't be transformed is unclutching.
Yes. And now that you've understood the science behind unclutching, when you get a few moments in your day, you can take a few minutes to experience this state of unclutching. So you can sit with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line and have your eyes closed. Intensely chant the Mahavakya. Do not engage with any thoughts or emotions. Purely let the space of unclutching manifest in you. Chant the Mahavakya. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. And when you get a moment, you can spend some time to do this and experience this next method. And the next method revealed by Devi Parashakti is to do Ajaba Ajaba, the cosmic sound Shiva Shiva Shiva. So a study has been conducted by the U.S. National Library of Medicine on the benefits of chanting, and it clearly establishes how doing the Ajaba Ajaba, the chanting, has a direct and positive benefit for the physical health and the mental well-being. And this study correlates this chanting of the Ajaba Ajaba to the vagus nerve stimulation, which is used as a treatment for depression and epilepsy. Here's more of that study. And another study conducted by Dr. Masaru Emoto establishes how human intentions, words, or thoughts can change the molecular structural formation in water. This interesting research clearly depicts that when water is being exposed to positive sound vibrations, the molecular formation in the water changes to a pleasant formation, whereas any negative sound, vibration, or words can disfigure or distort the water molecular formation. And here you can see the picture of how water responds when words like compassion, thank you, wisdom are used on water. You can see the beautiful snowflake-like structures that form. And when words like I will kill you, you fool, and heavy metal music is played to water, you can see how the water molecule becomes disintegrated, disformed, and disfigured. So you can imagine what happens inside of your body, which is composed of 60% water, when you chant the Ajaba Ajaba, the chanting of the powerful sacred mantra. If you would like to take some time to either practice the unclutching or do the Ajaba Ajaba, you can become a part of the Global Unclutching Initiative and sign up your minutes for peace at kailasa.tv/minutes for. Yes. So the next method is being in the state beyond any remembrance or forgetting in the Arunachala Spurana that blossoms as aham, aham in the Ananda Spurana. So just being in a state of constant remembrance of the divine and constantly meditating, being in the remembrance of Devi Parashakti, in the space where you are beyond any remembrance or forgetting. In this space, you will just be protected from COVID-19. So as Devi revealed, all of these methods are independently powerful enough to protect you from COVID-19. They are all independently powerful to completely keep you safe during this time. So you can use any of these methods to protect yourself from COVID-19. So the first method that Devi Parashakti actually revealed is that you can pray and meditate upon the protect yourself from COVID-19. And one of the easiest ways to pray to Devi is just offering your gratitude to Devi Parashakti. So in this next segment, we will understand how we can offer our gratitude to Devi. So we'll be right back in entering into this next segment after a very quick break.
Nithyananda. Welcome back to this segment where we'll be learning more about the traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti. Yes, we apologize for the technical. Again, let's start with this segment where we'll be looking at the various offerings we can make to Devi Parashakti, the traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti as we get ready to receive her darshan and blessings today. In the Hindu tradition, the offerings to the divine are a pure gift of love, devotion, and oneness as we celebrate the meeting with the divine, darshan with the divine. And these offerings are not made out of fear and greed. And when the divine accepts what one offers, the offering becomes complete. Grand Leela played out only for the purpose of enlightenment. So now, as we get ready with the traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti and prepare to receive her darshan, let us contemplate on this, the form and splendor, the beauty and splendor of Devi Parashakti as described in the Dhyana Shloka. And this verse from the Mula Agama Manonmani Dhyana describes Devi Parashakti. Indunibhaveda karavanninayanam syat pankajavarapayaja japakshara sarayuktam angahimabhushana vichitravasanam syat tungamakutojvala manonmani swarupam. Translation of this verse. It says, moonlight face holding the Veda books on hand, fire in eyes, with lotus flower gracing and blessing hands, and one hand plated with jeweled ornaments and in wonderful clothes and shining crown. Her name is Manonmani. And another verse from the describes
Nithyanandam, everyone. Now let us see the offerings to Devi Parashakti. Offering is a giving of divine gift of pure love, devotion, and oneness, and it consists of two parts. One is giving, and second is accepting. Only when the divine accepts what you offer, the offering becomes complete. Offering is not made out of fear nor out of greed. When an avatar lands, the offerings are purely a part of the grand Leela played out of the purpose of your enlightenment. Devi Parashakti, Mula Agama Manonmani Dhyanam. The dhyana meaning is moon-like face, holding Veda, the books on one hand, fire in her eyes, with the lotus flower gracing and blessing hands, and one hand with the japamala, beautifully decorated with the jeweled ornaments in wonderful clothes and shining crown. Her name is Manonmani. I meditate on Devi with three eyes glowing like a moon and hold Veda, lotus, and gracing with blessings and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornament. She is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods and showers auspicious boons for all actions every day. The significance of divine element of gold. According to Atharvana Veda, triply born by birth is this gold. From the atoms of the Agni is one. It becomes dearest to Agni. One fell away from the Soma when it was hurt. The one only called the seed of virtuous and powerful Apat. Let the triple gold be your long life. Gold is a divine element. It purifies anything it touches. It is an element of spiritual significance and great spiritual power of healing and enlightening. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears and anyone who sees or operates in its vicinity.
And the gold is present in all the scriptures, the Hindu scriptures, the Vedas, Agamas, Shrutis, Smritis, Itihasas, Puranas. In all the Hindu scriptures, it is abundantly displayed that gold is the most auspicious in the civilization. Everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold. Ritual feasts were offered in gold bricks. When one was to be saved from the life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee. Gold was in abundance and used for weighing equivalent amounts of commodities, including cows. Kingdoms were built with huge doors of gold. The streets would have huge columns and huge archways. Horses and cows were dressed in gold.
Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. Indus River was called Hiranmaya, that means the river of gold. In Rig Veda, the river Saraswati was called Hiranyavartani in Atharvana. Gold is the supreme element for offering gifts to the ones you love and revere. Temples are constructed and paved in gold. Deities are made in gold and decked and adorned in gold because it preserves the enlightenment energy for thousands of years. It lasts forever.
Here, let's see some of the various offerings, the traditional offerings we can make to Devi Parashakti today. The first offering is the e-hundi offerings. And just as we have the hundi at every temple in the Hindu tradition, we can offer our token of gratitude and devotion to Devi Parashakti through these e-hundi offerings today. Devi is described as Bhakti Priya, the one who is fond of true devotion. Let us see this verse which describes Devi Parashakti's love for true devotion. It says, Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Kamya, Bhakti Vashya Bhayapaha, Shambhavi Sharadharadhya Sharvani Sharmadaini. The translation of this verse: Devi is fond of true devotion and is realized through true devotion. She can be won over through true devotion and she removes all fear.
E-hundi. If there is a fear in minds of a devotee, Devi
If
is
there's any
sure to
fear
remove
in the
that fear.
minds of the
It is stated that Devi likes to be worshipped in autumn. Here, it is meant that autumn of our lives, when thoughts turn more and more inwards, the role of the divine is known and understood clearly. The need for Devi worship becomes stronger. Shambhavi, that is consort of Shambhu, Lord Shiva. Sharada Radhya means worshipped by Sharada, Saraswati. Sharvani, the wife of Lord Shiva. Linga Purana says, Lord Shiva is called Sharva in his earth form. Sharmadaini, Devi, who bestows happiness on devotees. You can offer your gratitude and devotion to Devi Parashakti by offering your Kanika, and your name shall be chanted out during puja to Devi.
The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Sankalpa chanting, the conscious resolution. And this verse from Devi Mahatmyam chapter 12, verse 34 describes Tayaitan mohyate vishwam shaiva vishwam prasuyate saya chittaja vijanam tushtarudhim prayaschati. The translation of this verse, it says, the goddess enchants this universe and she herself gives birth to this universe. That goddess being prayed without interest in anything gives that knowledge that leads to wealth in the materialistic sense. And you can make the offering of the Sankalpa, the conscious resolution, and be blessed with all the fruition of the desires and wishes that you yearn for. And you can make this offering to Devi Parashakti on the website www.kailasamailer.com/savas.
The next offering to Devi Parashakti is Sahasranama Swarnakasu. Devi is Nama Parayana Prita. The meaning is she who likes repetition of her various names. The Nama Parayana Prita is one of the verse from Lalita Sahasranama name 731 out of the 1008 Devi's names. This is the offering of 1000, and it's very special and unique Archana offered to Mahameru of Devi Parashakti. Offer a gold coin inscribed with each of the 1008 names and receive the blessings to have the Ananta Kalyana Gura, the infinite auspicious blessings, all the divine qualities of Devi Parashakti. You can offer at different sizes of $75, $151, and $251 US.
And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl. And Devi Parashakti is described as the one who is adorned with pearls. Let us look at this verse that describes Devi's beauty adorned with pearls and gems. It says, Muktahara lasat kirita ruchiram punendu prabham Shinjannupura kinkini manidharam padma prabha bhasuram Sarvabhita palapradam girisutam vani rama sevitam Meenakshim pranatosmi santatamaham karunyavaram nidhim. The translation of this verse, it says, I bow to the goddess Meenakshi, whose crown has garlands of pearls and the face shining like a full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of lotus, who grants all the wishes, the daughter of the mountain, who is worshipped by goddesses Vani and Rama. I remain ever bowing to the goddess Meenakshi, the ocean of compassion. And you can make this offering of the Mukta Anguti, the pearl finger ring, to Devi Parashakti, and be blessed with the love and compassion of Devi Parashakti in all of your business endeavors. You can make this offering on the website www.kailasa-sevas, and you can make this offering in 3 different sizes.
The next is Swarna Padma Pushpa, the golden lotus. The Kamika Agama verse says all the kalashas should be wound around and with suitable thread and covered with a new cloth. They should be adorned with a lotus flower made of gold. The Swarna Padma Pushpa, the golden lotus, cost is $600 US. There are hundreds of scriptural references for using lotus in worship of Paramashiva. Almost everything in worship of the ultimate involves the consecration of deities of worship or meditating or the mudras and asanas used during the worship involve the lotus flower, lotus leaf, and lots of pericarp and lotus petals. Thus, the lotus is a divine flower. Shakti of Paramashiva is also called as lotus. Base of Paramashiva Linga is lotus. The disciple of Paramashiva is also considered as the lotus, the about to bloom. Offer the gold lotus in any size you wish to and be blessed to have the state, space, and powers, and being of Devi in your inner space amidst any and every adverse situation in your life.
The next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Swarna Metti, the gold touring. And this verse from Saundarya Lahari describes the beauty of the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. Let us look at this verse. It says, Nakadhididi Sanchanna Namajjanatamo Guna Padadvaya Prabhajala Parakrita Saroruha. The translation of this verse, it says, you whose brightness from the toenails destroy the darkness of ignorance from the minds of your devotees who prostrate at your feet, you whose brightness from your 2 feet overpowers that of the lotus flower too. And you can make this offering of the Swarna Metti, the gold touring, to adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti, and be blessed with the grace and compassion of Devi Parashakti's blessings during all adverse situations, all difficult situations in your life. And you can make this offering of the Swarna Metti on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas.
The next offering to Devi Parashakti is Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry. One of the Devi's name is Sudha Sarabhivarshini. She who makes nectar flow in all our nerves from Sahasrara, that is, she who gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. The Mangtika represents the nectar flowing from the Sahasrara chakra, which is fully open. You can choose to offer Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry. The cost is $750 US.
And the next offering to Devi Parashakti is the offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja and the Saundarya Lahari verse. This verse, Shloka 83, describes the beauty and splendor of Devi Parashakti's sacred lotus feet. It says, the illuminating splendor of Devi's toenails dispel the darkness of ignorance in the devotees prostrating at her feet. Her feet defeat the lotus in beauty. And this verse describes that the nails of Devi Parashakti have been sharpened by constantly being touched by the crowns of celestial beings who always prostrate before Devi. And the tamoguna is indicative of the ignorance in the minds of the devotees, and by constantly prostrating before Devi, that ignorance is removed and they attain the ultimate knowledge. And you can make this offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja, which blesses the Yajman with all the auspiciousness and blessings of Devi Parashakti and of the Nijavatar of Devi Parashakti, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. You can make this offering of the Pratyaksha Pada Puja as your token of gratitude and devotion to Guru. You can sign up for this offering on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas.
The next opportunity for the Pratyaksha Pada Puja is upcoming is Diwali. The next offering to Devi Parashakti is Vastra Seva. The illuminating splendor of Devi's toenails dispel the darkness of ignorance in the devotees prostrating at her feet. Her feet defeat the lotus in beauty. Sloka number 83 of Saundarya Lahari, which states that the nails have been sharpened by constantly being touched by the crowns of celestial beings who always prostrate before Devi. Tamoguna is darkness. In this stotram, tamas is indicative of ignorance in the minds of devotees, and by constantly prostrating before Devi, their ignorance is removed and they attain knowledge. Offering of the Vastra Seva blesses the Yajaman with all auspiciousness and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. The Vastra Seva offering is $1,008.
And now, here we can see the summary of all the various offerings to Devi Parashakti that you can offer on the website today. The e-hundi offerings can be made in multiple currencies and in any amount as you would wish to offer. We can also make the Sankalpa chanting, the offering of the conscious resolution. The Devi Sahasranama Swarnakasu, the pure gold coin inscribed with the 1008 sacred names of Devi Parashakti, each coin inscribed with one of the 1008 sacred names. You can make this offering in 3 different denominations, and you can offer any number of coins as you would like to offer. You can also make the offering of the Mukta Anguti, the gold finger ring embedded with pearl, in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Padma Pushpa, the gold lotus flower, can be offered in 3 different sizes. The Swarna Metti, the gold toe ring to adorn the sacred lotus feet of Devi Parashakti. You can make this offering on the website. The Swarna Mangtika, the gold hairline jewelry representing the overflowing nectar of gratitude from the Sahasrara Chakra. The Pratyaksha Pada Puja, the offering of the ritualistic gratitude from disciple to Guru, and the offering of the Vastra Seva, the cloth offering. So all of these offerings can be made on the website www.kailasamailer.com/sevas. And now let us look at the website where you can make all of these offerings. So here you can see the website www.kailasamailer.com/save us, and you can scroll down on this page and click on the links on step make your traditional offerings to Devi Parashakti, e-hundi and offerings of the traditional. And if you'd like to make an intention to make an offering today and receive your blessings, receive Devi Parashakti's blessings for your intention to manifest into, you can submit the fund, and once you've made the traditional offerings to Devi, if you would like to fill out the Sankalpa, the conscious resolution, fill out the form on step 3. So let us look at the various links. Sorry for the technical glitch. It looks like the website is currently down, but you can come back to this page www.kailasamailer.com/save us, where you can click on this link and make the traditional offering.
Thank you, Ma Amrita. So now we are going to move on to the next part of our program. Welcome back to this segment of Kailasa's multi-layer COVID care protection centers at the Kailasa's de facto spiritual embassies. With the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam blessings, let's understand the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's contributions. So what we learned from this segment today concerning statistics on the mental health, not just the physical health, on the mental health and global peace across the world due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So what are the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa's contributions for global health and global peace? Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's spiritual solutions for COVID-19 and Kailasa's COVID care protection centers, why temple-based ecosystems, and UN recognizes Kailasa's contributions and join Kailasa's COVID care protection centers. The crisis that we are under. Today, people around the world are trying to grapple with the grim reality that the pandemic is far from over. The aftermath of the current calamity promises to be much more devastating. The greatest economics of the world are facing disastrous futures. Countries are facing off each other with deep mistrust. Now, let us see some of the statistics and current news. In Australia, there are record high cases amid the third wave of COVID-19. The World Health Organization makes a big statement about the Delta variant of COVID-19, that the Delta variant of coronavirus has elbowed out all the 3 other COVID-19 variants of concern that now represent a tiny fraction of the samples which are being sequenced. COVID-19 has killed more Americans than influenza pandemic of 1918 to 19. The 1918 to 19 flu infected about 25% of Americans and killed an estimated 0.65% with 675,000 deaths. And COVID-19 has infected more than 12% of Americans and killed about 0.2% with 676,000 deaths. Now that the US death toll from COVID-19 has surpassed 676,000, the coronavirus pandemic has killed more Americans than the 1918 to 19 influenza pandemic did. Axios and the other Associated Press both reported the grim milestone recently. So COVID-19 pandemic is now officially US deadliest pandemic as the death toll crosses that of the 1918 to 19 flu. People infected with alpha variant exhales 100 times more virus into the air than original COVID strain. 6 feet distance may not be enough to prevent viral transmission through indoors. Delta variant still most concerning, says the World Health Organization's experts. In US, COVID-19 pandemic is nowhere under control, says the Chief Medical Advisor, Anthony Fauci. He said, right now we are still in pandemic mode because we have 160,000 infections a day. That's not even modestly in good control. In an interview with Axios, the US has reported 40 million cases of COVID-19 since the outbreak of the virus, with over 4 million infections adding up in weeks. The increase in COVID cases comes as the US administration earlier this month announced that it is planning to provide booster shots of the vaccine as the Delta variant has become dominant in the nation and is wreaking havoc. The surge in Delta variant is driven by the low vaccination coverage in many communities across US, according to the US Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Mr. Fauci says, in a country of our size, you cannot be hanging around and having 100,000 infections a day. You have got to get well below 10,000 before you start feeling comfortable. According to the World Economic Forum, COVID-19 made the world less peaceful. Not only it is concerning the increased fatalities, physical health, affecting the mental health, but it is causing the violent incidences, which is affecting the global peace, making the world less peaceful. The younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorder during the COVID-19 pandemic. The average share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety The average share of adults reporting symptoms of anxiety disorder and or depressive disorder, in 2019, what it was, a 6 months period, was 11%, the anxiety and or depressive disorders. Now, in just 1 month of 2021, January, it rose up to 41.1%. And some more statistics confirming the same, that the younger adults are more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and or depressive disorder during the COVID-19 pandemic. Stress in America, a national COVID-19 is a significant stressor for most Americans. Nearly 8 in 10, which is 78%, say the coronavirus pandemic is a significant source of stress in their lives. And nearly 7 in 10, which is 67%, say they have experienced increased stress over the course of the pandemic. COVID-19 could exacerbate doctors' existing mental health burden. More than 60,000 US healthcare workers have contracted COVID-19 and 300 have died. Of the health workers who treated patients during the China's COVID-19 outbreak, 50% showed signs of depression and 45% showed signs of anxiety. Self-reported mental health among the pregnant women and new mothers. Self-reported mental health among pregnant women and new mothers. Before the pandemic, the depression rate was 15%, and now during the pandemic, it rose up to 40.7%. And anxiety, what it was before the pandemic was 29%, and now during this pandemic, it rose up to 72%. Living under stay-at-home, 8 in 10 students are struggling with focus on school or work and avoiding distractions. 55% of all students do not know where to go for help for their mental health. The World Bank, the global economic outlook during the COVID-19 pandemic, a changed world. The pandemic is expected to plunge most countries into recession, with per capita income contracting the largest fraction of countries globally since 1870. International Labour Organization. COVID-19 is a threat to peace building in conflict and crisis has worsened already fragile situations. The ILO, the International Labour Organization, is more aware than ever of its responsibility to promote peace and resilience in the time of this global pandemic.